Hello! We've turned the music back down, but we're attempting to have it keep going in the background. Let me know, Redacted, since you're one of the few people watching, if that volume is too loud, or if you just prefer it without. Yeah, we're happy to turn it off. Yeah, I thought we'd give it a go. In fact, we'll turn it down a little bit more. I can't hear how loud it is, but hopefully there is something there. Maybe you're not hearing it at all. My meter levels are hardly moving. But anyway, enough about audio levels. Hey Ian, cheers for joining the chat. Yeah, you guys let me know if the music in the background is annoying, and we'll just stop it if that's the case, but we thought we'd try leaving it on. Right, yeah, we're here to do the round 4 driver to server assignment. Yeah, it's MVRC's combo, and they've gone with the JCW Minis at Curvelo Long. It's a great fun layout, great combo, yeah, so yeah, I've been tweaking it. I've left it alone for a little while now, so hopefully it's still alright, Redacted. Again, just let me know if it's too loud. It is a bit of a banging tune that I've got in my eardrums. Anyway, yes, it is for MVRC's combo, and it's a real corker of a combo. They've told me that they wanted to go for an event with minimum strategy and just flat-out racing. However, it's going to involve pit stops because you can't get to the end without refueling, and so I think there's going to be some strategy involved. Exactly what those strategies are, I don't know. But yeah, should be fun. Should be very fun. I've done some laps, and I'm a second off Jake, who's super speedy, and I've got no idea where he's finding the time. Anyway, I said I wanted to quickly go through the community and drivers standings before we get to the randomization. So let's switch screens. Can we get this to show up? That is the question. Hold on. If I bring this down here, maybe this will work. Aha! There we go. There's the team standings. Yeah, the front-wheel drive cars are very interesting. I like them. There's a different technique to driving them, of course, than it being front-wheel drive. The front wheel's doing all the work. You're trying not to burn through the tyres incredibly quickly, and you've got to get the car through the corner pretty much before you can get on the power. But it's a different technique, and it's a lot of fun. Anyway, yeah. So let's do the team standing. So up top now, we had a switcheroo. MVRC, whose combo this is, they've taken the lead after a really impressive points haul in round 3. I'm hoping it's capturing my mouse. Yes, it is. Yeah, so you can see there if I that top cell where my mouse is, 105 points for MVRC in round 3 has allowed them to overtake SSR, who were leading the championship, and by some margin now they're 19 points ahead. Given the amount of points involved in each round, 19 points is not difficult to overcome, but they're definitely just starting to ease away over SSR. So SSR need a good round 4. KCSR have managed to pull themselves back up to P3. They are currently, well, as I say, I don't know who's actually P3, based on, I've not totaled up how many P1s, P2s and P3s and things like that, so it's just doing it alphabetically, but they are joint points with KCSR and RRC. They're both on 229. So if you look at how close things are, we've got NRT there on 226 in 5th place, but that's just 3 points separating 3rd, 4th and 5th. And certainly not far behind are 10 tenths on 216. And then MSU, who had a terrible round 1, with me having tech issues, so just struggling to finish the race with random brake applications. At least that was my excuse. But yeah, so we've got 10 tenths there as well, and I've just realised that the background music has completely gone off because I'm not capturing it in this scene on OBS, so I'll turn it off in my ears completely as well. We'll not worry about that. Yes, so certainly if you look at it though, from MVRC are 100 points ahead of AMSU and P7, so there's a battle for the win between MVRC and SSR. Those two, as we approach the halfway point, seem to be pulling significantly ahead. KCSR, RRC, NRT, 10 tenths and AMSU seem to be having a quite a heated battle, with just 21 points separating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams there in the midfield, and then there's a little bit of a gap, but then it's still pretty close between SRGP, RPM and TRE. And then we've got a little battle right at the back there with Club 50 and Slipstream also close together. So everybody's got stuff to work for. If we go and have a look at the drivers' standings, then if I can bring that in, let's see, will it let me do it? Yes, there we go. So the driver standings, Division 1 with a perfect score. Jake S2000 for MVRC, 35 points. 35 points and, of course, 35 points. Now, at the moment, no drop rounds are being applied. There's 2 drop rounds in the championship for the Drivers' Championship only. They have no effect on the Team Championship. So after round 4 scores are in, drop rounds will be applied, both of them. So essentially, at round 4, only 2 of the 4 scores that we've got will count for the Drivers' Championship. So things are going to change and they'll be a bit naff basically at the end of round 4 because so many your low scoring rounds are being ignored, half of them. But obviously, as the championship extends to 5, 6, 7, and 8 rounds, that will then kind of play out, and it will be hopefully allow for those that can't make all the races, because real life does happen. It means that their championship chances aren't ruined because of real life. Maybe those that have tech issues, there's been a few drivers that have had disconnections and stuff like that, so that minimises the impact of those issues. But as I say, Jake S2000, absolute perfect score, 105 points, but Statue's not that far behind. He's had an almost perfect score, 35 and 35 and a 28, so Statue in second place. Matteo Morgante, he's RRC driver, he's on 92, and Franco, AMSU driver, got to go to the top 4. In fact, we'll go to the top 5 because we have the wonderful Redacted, who's here watching the stream. He's in P5. Now, on these standings, you can see I have factored in how many P1s, how many P2s, how many P3s, etc. That people have. So, Redacted, you are 5th ahead of Johnny because you have better scores. You have a 28 points for round 1, which is a better score than all of Johnny, who seems to be consistently getting 24 points. I'm not sure what that position is, but you have the better overall finishing, so that's why Redacted, you are ahead of Johnny at the moment, despite the fact you both have 72 points. So well done, guys. Then if we move down to Division 2, we have Dikra leading Division 2. He didn't make the last round, so that's very impressive for him to be leading despite having one score not even applying there. Pavel for AMSU, he is 7 points back there. He's been finishing consistently. Then we have Raptor, he's for RPM, taking the 3rd spot in the Division 2 Championship. Lag Slug, 10T driver, big call out for the 10T Massive. He's doing well in P4. And then Laurie has done really well there in 5th place. He's on 33 points. So still very close. And as I say, it's only going to get closer because we're going to drop your 2 lowest scoring rounds. As soon as the round 4 points come in, the 2 lowest score rounds will be dropped. So if anything, at the end of round 4, everything's going to be even closer in the Drivers' Championship. As I say, as the championship progresses, that'll play out and hopefully be pretty interesting. Yeah, Ian, what's your in-game name, Ian? Message me and I'll have a look at that. And if I've ballsed up there somewhere, it certainly is possible. If we look at the overall standings way down here, if you can tell me what your race has in-game, Ian. Oh, Grumpy, right, you should be on there, but I may have ballsed up somewhere. Give me one. Oh, how long has my mic been muted for? Did the mic stop? I must have pressed a button at some point and stopped the mic. How long has it been muted for? Have you heard any of my waffle that I've been saying? I just spotted that it was muted. I don't know why it was muted. Did you hear me saying anything at all since you've been switching through all the divisions and stuff, guys? When did it stop working? I hope I haven't been talking to myself for the whole stream. Come back to me, guys. Come back to me. After I look for Grumpy. Okay, apologies. So I was just going through. I must have clicked the wrong button or clicked my hotkey or whatever it is that does the mic muting. So quick recap. So what I was saying is we've got all these ones in red are all drivers who are reserved for other teams. So Savage Paddy is reserved for MVRC racing for Club 50. Yeah, sorry. Cheers, George, and sorry about that. I must have clicked the wrong button. Blue Fear have RPM, RPM have Blue Fear racing for them for 10T, SRGP have Lausanne racing for them from AMSU, and Slipstream have Badoshk. And what I was saying is I've only got one spare driver, that's Lag Slug, and I stress I haven't had confirmation from all these reserves that they're happy to race for other teams. They normally are, and many of these drivers have done so already, so I doubt they're going to say no, but it is always optional. So that's what I was waffling on about for 2 or 3 minutes when the mic went off. But I stress, if there's any drivers who can't make it because real life gets in the way, or any more drivers, I'm going to be struggling to cover. I only have one spare driver at the moment. That is assuming that all these reserves are not reserves of last resort. That's where the driver will kind of make it possible for them to race if they absolutely have to, but it's not convenient. So the reserves of last resort were primarily for their own team, and obviously that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to rearrange their whole day for another team, understandably. Anyway, not the most professional of streams, but let's do that randomization. So first of all, we're going to do this clicky here, and we're going to check that it is truly randomizing to demonstrate that it is, and then usually on the third click we confirm that's the actual one. The only people that aren't randomized are myself and Roy, because we are always assigned to server 1 respectively for myself and server 2 for Roy as the hosts. So let's do that first click. So we can see here, if we just look at the red ones, that's the easiest to do. So we've got Savage, Blue Fear and Lausanne on server 1 and Badashk on server 2. So let's unclick and re-randomize. Okay, it seems to have done almost identical. Let's re-randomize again. Come on, random. There we go. Look, it is different. Look, they've all been put on server 2. What are the odds when you pick, when you got 4 drivers highlighted in red and they literally split completely randomly the same way? And let's just do one more to confirm. There you go. Look, 2 on each. Look, so it is random. Right, so having proved it's random, the next click, the one that's coming, is the actual drive to server assignment. So here we go, guys. Hopefully you get the server you want. Right, the first thing I have to do is I have to copy this back in place, and that stops it from re-randomizing, because otherwise every time I do anything on the spreadsheet it re-randomizes, so I lose my opponent record. So if I do this now, yeah, we can see that it hasn't lost the information. Fabulous. So let's just quickly go through that. So we've got our usual commentators, Jonas and Quarto. Jonas on 1, Quarto on 2. They're both volunteered to do stream round 4 again, so that should be good. Oh, by the way, if you are following an MVRC car, I just hope that you're okay with men in kilts. Because if you're not, you might have to cover your eyes, which is not so good for driving. But MVRC have put an absolute epic skin together. Get that skin pack installed. It was released last night. It's really good. And thanks to all the skinners for that. Anyway, so server 1, we've got Redacted and Dazads for 10/10. For AMSU, we've got J Turn and Frano, Chris Bloom and Uwe for Club 50, Blankfile and Johnny for KCSR, Slayer and Minimus for MVRC, Noodle and Tinnes for NRT, Fancy Jake and Blue Fear for RPM, Maro De Rocco and Daniel Gabardi, they're racing for RRC on server 1, Alpha Signal and Lausanne are racing for SRGP, Abdika and Kafalor for SSR, Bill and Jakub are Slipstream drivers on server 1, and Grumpy, and that's Ian on the stream, hey Ian, and Nonny are TRE's drivers, with the only reserve I've got for 10/10, that's Lag Slug on server 1 as well. Then on server 2, for 10/10 once again, we have Prue and Linus. AMSU, you've got Grandpa and Pavel. Club, I say the AMSU split, we have regularly had myself and Franco on the same servers, and G-Bear and Pavel, or G-Bear and Lazan on server 2. So yes, I haven't got to race with all my team yet. Myself and Franco seem to be racing an awful lot together. But anyway, Grandpa and Pavel are on server 2. Club 50 have got Steve Kenwood and Savage Paddy standing in, an MVRC driver there for Club 50. Bruce Law and Glenn for KCSR, JK and for MVRC, and Jake S2000, that is currently leading the Drivers' Championship in Division 1 for MVRC. Nessie and Chris for NRT, Roy, who will be host, and Rocco for RPM, Mattia and Daniel for RRC, Andy and Carl. I know Carl's having tech issues, so I already have a driver who's likely to not make it, and that is Carl for SRGP, who may well be taking my last reserve, that's Lag Slug. I hope, Carl, you do make it, but yes, Carl currently is assigned for SRGP with Andy on server 2. Dustin and Domschka for SSR, Laurie and Badojk for Slipstream, and finally Dun Gizmo and Hardcover Hobbit for TRE. Right, chaps, I have waffled on for, how long have I been waffling for? Nearly half an hour. Bluminor. 10 minutes of that was a musical intro, and 2 minutes of it was mic muted, so that was quality as well. But yeah, cheers, Redacted and Ian, Grandpa, for joining in. Jonathan B, cheers for joining in as well. Thank you for joining the stream. We'll see you there. Always appreciate a few people come to say hello. They're not the most exciting streams, but we attempt to give you some useful information, and mainly, as I say, for documenting that random assignment, so everybody can see it is truly random and nothing to do with any magic that I might be doing. Okay, guys, thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and yeah, we'll see you on Wednesday for some, no doubt, door bashing, wing mirror losing racing. Hopefully not to bumper cars, but it is a combo where contact is going to happen. We all know, though, that we must leave space to race, and we must wait if we take somebody out. So you got to drive with those two things factored in, because otherwise you're going to be penalised after the race, or be losing a lot of time whilst you wait for somebody that you took out. Anyway, enough of my preaching to the converted, because I know you guys are all great drivers. We'll end the stream there. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.